Are you gonna watch the Diddy documentary?
Eventually, but you know, I look, man, I'm not gonna keep throwing the dude under the bus, man, and serving time in prison. You know, I know Diddy, I know his kids.
Marlon Wayans is in the hot seat after comments about the Diddy documentary sparked backlash and a heated online feud with 50 Cent. What started as one interview answer has turned into a full-blown celebrity clash, pushing Wayans to publicly defend his stance and forcing fans to pick sides.
Bro, so you're close. And Jack, what were you saying about that?
I went to college with Puff.
Hang on. What were you saying?
I knew Diddy when he was Puffy.
Okay.
The spark that ignited the controversy occurred during Wayans' appearance on The Cruise Show, where the host asked him about Sean Combs, The Reckoning, the multi-episode docuseries that chronicles the rise, power, and alleged abuses tied to the music mogul. Produced in part by 50 Cent, the documentary includes interviews with former collaborators, associates, and individuals who claim to have been harmed or exploited by Diddy across multiple decades. The series is unflinching, meticulous, and emotionally heavy, prompting intense discussion among viewers, critics, and celebrities. When asked his thoughts on the documentary, Marlon Wayans didn't offer the typical neutral Hollywood answer. Instead, he commented on how documentaries, like any piece of storytelling, can construct a narrative based on the perspectives and motivations of those behind them.
In the documentary, there was insinuations of, that Diddy possibly had something to do with both Tupac and Biggie. And,
Who's telling the story, right? You can skew...
People very close to the situation.
But you can skew... You can create any narrative as a producer and as a director and as a storyteller.
He mentioned that even though the allegations against Diddy deserve to be examined with seriousness, people should remain aware of how narratives can be shaped by personal animosity. This point immediately drew attention because of 50 Cent's long-publicized feud with Diddy, a history that includes both business rivalry and personal jabs exchanged over years. Wayans cautioned that when a producer with a known grudge creates a documentary about his adversary, the viewing public should be aware of the potential bias and approach it with a critical eye.
It doesn't mean it's true. I can get interviews, I can do this, I can get footage, and I could make you think this about that person.
Nah, for sure, yeah.
For many fans, this was a fair and reasonable perspective. For others, the comment landed like a defense of Diddy during a cultural moment when many believe alleged victims deserve full support and unambiguous empathy. The internet, never one to move slowly, began circulating clips of Wayans' comments out of context.
I think, look, 50 and Puff have a long-term beef. It's personal. It's
between... People are saying 50's wrong for doing it, but 50's right for doing it. It's divided.
It's between him and Puff.
Framing him as minimizing the allegations or aligning himself with Diddy, criticism flooded the timeline. Commenters accused him of protecting a friend, downplaying abuse for clout, or trying to remain loyal to industry connections. The backlash grew so rapidly that Wayans felt compelled to address it directly.
Just the way Puff is down on his luck, and 50's kicking a man when he's down.
God is gonna.
If 50 ever luck turn up on 50, that you got to be careful what you put out.
Late into the night, he uploaded a video to social media with a firm, clear tone. In the clip, he insisted he was not defending Diddy in any capacity. He explained that he was asked a question and gave an opinion about narrative framing, not about the validity of the allegations themselves.
I'm not here defending Diddy. I am here because I got dragged into this because somebody asked me a question and I had an opinion.
He urged viewers to not be sheep, to avoid allowing the internet to manipulate them with selective edits, and to think for themselves. His message underscored his frustration with how quickly commentary can be distorted into something completely different once it hits the digital ecosystem.
Y'all people don't be sheep. Use your brain, use your freedom of thought, your freedom of speech, and don't ever let nobody bully you. Never.
However, clarifying his stance did little to stop the tidal wave that had already formed. Old tweets resurfaced from 2009 showing Wayans praising Diddy's parties. Critics used these posts as evidence that Wayans was now defending an old friend. Wayans responded by explaining that attending a party over a decade ago doesn't imply he was aware of or complicit in any alleged wrongdoing, and that like many entertainers of the era, he crossed paths with Diddy socially without seeing anything that raised alarms at the time. Just as the backlash against Wayans simmered, 50 Cent entered the conversation, and when 50 Cent joins a feud, the volume always rises. Known for his relentless trolling and razor-sharp online presence, 50 quickly posted a meme featuring Wayans, captioned with a warning to keep his name out of the conversation. The post instantly went viral. In classic 50 Cent fashion, he paired humor with underlying confrontation, effectively turning Wayans into the next target of his internet commentary. Wayans, never one to shy away from humor, responded in kind. He posted a satirical image featuring 50 Cent in a hot tub alongside Diddy, a photo widely believed to be AI generated, but intended to parody the tension and speculation swirling around both men. His caption suggested that if narratives can be created so easily, it demonstrates exactly why people should question the stories they consume. While intended as joke-driven commentary, the image drew strong reactions. Some fans found it hilarious and appreciated the comedian leaning into his strengths. Others felt it crossed a line. As their exchange evolved, 50 Cent dug deeper, reposting old images of Wayans with Diddy and clips from interviews in which Wayans spoke positively about the mogul during earlier phases of his career. The rapper's followers jumped into the thread, many siding with 50 and framing Wayans as someone trying to protect the wrong people. Meanwhile, supporters of Wayans argued that he was being taken out of context and attacked for simply encouraging critical thinking. This dispute soon spilled outward into broader pop culture conversation. Radio personalities, podcasts, and gossip sites picked up the story, analyzing every post in response. The Breakfast Club weighed in, with Charlemagne the God noting that Wayans' critique of narrative construction was not inherently wrong, but that commenting on anything involving Diddy right now carries an emotional charge due to the severity of the allegations. DJ Envy pointed out that the public's memory is long. Many of the stories highlighted in the documentary have been whispered in the entertainment world for years. Now, with everything compiled in one series, the scale and impact feel amplified. Other commentators focused on 50 Cent's role. They noted that while his feud with Diddy has existed for decades, his involvement in the documentary doesn't automatically invalidate the information presented. They argued that investigative work often comes from people who have personal stakes in the story, and that the documentary's use of multiple sources suggests it isn't purely about rivalry. To them, Wayans' comments seemed tone-deaf to the cultural moment, even if they were not intended as a defense. As all of this unfolded, another public reaction took shape: confusion. Many people weren't upset at Wayans for expressing skepticism. They were confused about why he weighed in at all. If he didn't want to be involved, some argued, he should have declined to comment. But in the world of celebrity interviews, refusing to answer a question can generate an entirely different wave of speculation. Wayans was faced with a lose-lose situation: respond and risk being misinterpreted, or stay silent and risk being portrayed as evasive. Where things go from here depends largely on whether the feud continues to escalate or fizzles out as the next major pop culture topic emerges. For now, the dust has not fully settled. The documentary continues generating headlines, the allegations surrounding Diddy remain under intense public scrutiny, and 50 Cent shows no signs of slowing his online commentary. Wayans, meanwhile, appears determined to stand his ground, making it clear that while he respects the gravity of the allegations, he refuses to be boxed into narratives created by strangers on the internet. What this moment illustrates is the complexity of celebrity conversations in the social media era. Nuance is easily lost, opinions are rapidly weaponized, and context often disappears beneath waves of outrage and comedic memes. A single interview question can turn into a multi-day firestorm, pulling public figures into debates they never intended to be part of. And in the case of Marlon Wayans, one comment about narrative construction placed him unexpectedly in the center of one of the most emotionally charged pop culture controversies of the year. Yet, the situation also reflects the changing expectations placed on entertainers. Audiences increasingly demand clear moral stances from celebrities, especially when the topic involves allegations of abuse or misconduct. Even a neutral or analytical comment can be perceived as avoidance or deflection. Wayans' insistence that he was only encouraging people to think critically reveals a tension between public desire for solidarity and individual desire for nuanced discussion. For now, Marlon Wayans continues to defend his intentions, 50 Cent continues to troll with expert precision, and the conversation around Diddy's past continues evolving. In the world of online celebrity culture, the lines between commentary, comedy, and controversy grow blurrier by the day, and one interview moment is all it takes to ignite a wildfire.